Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is 1 o'clock, February 21st, Tuesday, and I'm here to tell you my first day results with Instacart. Well, yesterday I started Instacart. I did it all day. I signed up from, what was that, noon till 10 o'clock at night. And let me tell you, I started out at the Whole Food in Ponce de Leon, because that's what they told me to start. The manager or, the lead at the place I signed up on, she gave us an email and told us, you know, good starting points to start out with in each market. So she had said Atlanta was the Ponce on Ponce de Leon at the Whole Foods. So, anyways, so when I got to Whole Foods, I basically sat there for about a good hour. It was about a little bit after 1 o'clock. I didn't get any responses. So I walked around Whole Food and I saw quite a few number of Instacart people. One guy had his son with him. Another girl had another friend. And I was like, I know they say not to bring anybody, but I guess they must be the sidekick. And the son, I think yesterday was a holiday. That was another thing. It was a holiday, President's Day, but everybody was in that Whole Food. It was so damn crowded. It was ridiculous. But anyway, so I sat down and then I got my first thing. I was like, how do you know when you're going to get a request? So it came through the email, not email, it came through a text. So when it came through the text, hold on, let me see. Let me log on dang Grubhub. It's supposed to be from 1 to 3. Okay, I'm going to sign on at Grubhub. My block starts from 1 to 3 o'clock today. So anyway, so let me tell you. So I got my first ding or notification, and it said go to the Whole Food at Ponce. I was already in the Whole Food at Ponce. I said, that's a good thing. I was right there. So prior to getting a ding, I was asking someone, well, where's the manager or whomever is on duty with Instacart, And the guy told me, he said, oh, just go behind these doors and make a right and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I didn't know where to go. And so then I saw this other girl. Now, she was rude as hell. But you know what? I said, you know what? Some people just don't have any social skills. So I'm not even going to, let that bother me. So I asked her about who is there someone that works here for Instacart that's here? Wow, what do you want to know? You work for Instacart? I mean, really? Bitch, if I ask you, why the hell would I ask you that if I didn't have anything to do with Instacart? So when I told her that, I said, okay, I just started today. It's my first day. They didn't have any shirts, and they told me I could go to this location and they'll give me a shirt. So I guess after when she realized, that I worked at Instacart, then she kind of, in a passing, told me where it was again. And then, so I said, okay. So I want to say behind this door. So I went behind the door, saw the sign Instacart, went around. And, first I was trying to look for a shirt. They didn't have nothing in that box. Had a whole bunch of small. So I got me a couple of extra layers or whatever you call those things. So I sat back down, waited for an order to come through. So at 1 o'clock, I got my first order. Well, let me see. Let me look at my stats. I'm gonna look at this. Let me see. So yesterday, I did 9 hours and 40 minutes. I took a 20-minute break. So what happened, let me tell you the earnings. So I got $72.82, 9 hours and 40 minutes. I got $19.72 in tips, and $53.10 in delivery fees. Now, I only had one. The last one for the night was when I had to go to Kroger's on Howard Mill, and I was like minutes away from that location after I dropped off the last order. But let me tell you. So anyway, according to this, I had the first order was two delivery. It was two deliveries, delivery only. And when I saw it, I accepted it, acknowledged it, and then I saw two names. And I was like, okay, what order is this? Two names, delivery only. So I went to the back, and I didn't know what button to press. I didn't know what to do at that point. I said, well, how do you, I said, how do you supposed to account? It said scan the bag. And I'm like looking at the phone, and then this guy came over, and he only does shopping. So he was real helpful. So he's been, I didn't ask him all these questions because, they people are time. So they ain't got time to try to talk with you or nothing like that. And I understand that. So he basically showed me, he said, just hit this button and scan it. And then, he sees where it has the labels, ABC, refrigerator, and the shelf. So I got the two orders. And the first one was downtown at Deloitte. Was it Deloitte? Yeah, Deloitte is an accounting firm. And I parked right across the street from Hooters. So I parked across the street, turned on my lights, ran across the street with the two bags. And then they said, oh, you have to go all the way down the hall and go upstairs to the 15th floor. I said, oh my God. I said, dang it. Let me hurry up. So I ran upstairs with the bags, went to the door, and then of course the secretary, and I asked her, I'm delivering for so and so and so. And they said, is there anything she needs to sign? I said, no. I should have waited because then maybe I would have got a cash tip or something, but didn't. So I dropped off the two little bags, ran back downstairs, went to my second delivery and delivered that. And that was, let me see, where was that at? Was that at a residential? Yeah, that was at a residential residence somewhere in Buckhead. Then when I got there, now I don't understand why you live next to neighbors. I'm asking, I pulled up to the house and I said, do you know where 622 is? I think it's down there. You're going to tell me it's way down there. You know your house number. If your house number is 621 and I'm asking you for 622, why are you going to sit there and lie and tell me that it's further down the street? I said, no, it's not. So I turned around. I said, okay, dear, it was a house right next to theirs. White folks, boy, I swear to God, they act like ain't nobody give a damn about, I don't know. Oof. Anyway, I said, so I able to find the house. So I knocked on the door, rang the doorbell. I said, well, dang, nobody's not home. So I didn't know what to do. So I said, okay, let me look at the app. And they said, okay, only text the customer if necessary. So I had to call. So I called this number. They said, wait, your phone will ring back. So she called, so I picked, got on the phone. She says, oh, I stepped out and I didn't know it's going to be that quick. See, I was on time. So she said, oh, just leave the groceries on the porch. So I left the groceries on the porch. I said, okay, ma'am, I'll leave it on the chair, in the green chair. And I left it on the porch and went about my business. Then, so that was two orders. So I had $4.55. So that was $9.10 between the two. And I didn't get no tips for none of those orders. Then I went back to the Whole Food and then I waited, talked to this one girl. She was there shopping and I was asking her questions and she was telling me about, oh, you're going to see the pay's going to drop. And she started, being all discouraging about the pay. And I said, well, shoot. And so many people don't tip. I said, shoot, I'm used to the people who ain't tipping. Shoot. I worked at Uber. Then she was asking me about Uber and Lyft. I think she said she did Lyft. No, she was asking me about Uber Eats. And I told her, I said, you better stick with Instacart because you make way more money without the tips than if you do Uber Eats. And I was telling her about Grubhub, and I said Grubhub is not hiring any drivers at this time in Atlanta. So I was telling her about the different apps I worked with, and about Uber and me. I'm not going to give no good old ovation with Uber. And I told her that how the pay structure was, and I don't think that's something that she would even do. But I didn't, I'm not one to promote no code or anything else. Now I'll promote people to ride with Uber, and maybe I get my little $5 for referring people to take Uber. But for me to even dare tell anybody about you're gonna make a lot of money, I said no. I told them what the rates were, and I said, to be honest, you'll still make more money. And then I told her about Ship, and I told her about what my experience with Ship. So I told her, I said, basically they probably make about the same when it's all said and done. And so she was telling me all these things with Instacart and everything else, and she said she's gonna sign up next week for the new markets that open up. So she said she'll be going out there to Marietta and Lawrenceville and all these other markets, and she said that she could go out there, hang out there for 10 hours and get the guarantee of $10 an hour. And so she says the minute you get to that new market, it's gonna drop. I mean, just really, I was like, well, dang, that's sure encouraging about, telling somebody that. But, but anyways, so about five-ish or so, I got the order from the same Whole Food. And this time I had 4 orders, 4 batches or whatever you want to call it, delivery only. I said, well, God dang, I'm just doing deliveries. So that was about $18.20. And from that, let me tell you, it was going smooth. Now, this is another thing I have a question about. If I got dispatched to pick up 4 deliveries at 5:20 something or whatever, and I scanned all these bags, I had a whole bunch of bags with these orders too. And it says order A, B, C, and D. Now, let me tell you what happened. On my way from dropping off one order, I went to the second place. On Ponce de Leon and McClendon, why did this Black lady ran over somebody that was on a bike? It held up that whole traffic. I was like, oh my goodness. That was like 20. I mean, we was in that dang traffic. I have a picture of it. I wish when I try to edit this video, I'm going to show y'all the picture. Hopefully it came out clear. They had the fire truck there, MARTA police. I don't know why MARTA was there. Must be the bus must have went by and must have saw it. And then the Atlanta police. I saw this one white guy, he on a stretcher. I was like, oh my God. I looked and he looked like he was hurt. He probably just fell off that damn bike. And the lady ran over his bicycle. So the bike was under the car and held up traffic. I had to make a turn. Nobody was going straight. So I went on the side. Here comes this white guy next to me. Excuse me, it's a line back there, and we ready to turn right there. I looked at him like, whatever, rolled up my window. Dumbass. Like there's more than one way to get down McClendon Street and Mount and Ponce de Leon. You just gonna go straight, turn and make a right. Them crackers, they act like they moving in neighborhoods, they don't know where the hell they going. So when that light turned green, I said, you know what? I just diverted the area, went straight, then turned the rent around and dropped that off. But that caused me to be late. But the lady instructions were leave the groceries on the porch. So she wasn't home either. So I went to the next location, which was up the street, and that was a smooth transition. Now, all of these deliveries for this 1, 2, 3, 4 was smooth, with that exception of that bike incident, held me up. I was like, dang, messed up my little time. Then, after I finally finished with that, I got pinged at 8, not 8 something. What time was it? 5. Come on, people, giving away your blocks. It was like, well, let me read this from here. 8:20 p.m. at the Publix on 2900 Peachtree Road. That's the one in Buckhead, next to Barnes and Nobles. So I went over there, picked up how many bags? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bags. And that was $4.55 too. Now, I got a tip from order number A and order B. I got a $9.72 tip and $4 from B. Now, I know D didn't leave no tip. It was this black guy with these kids. And C was, let me see. I'm trying to remember who these people are. Well, anyway, so one of the orders, let me tell you, I picked up all 4 of these bags. 2 of the people lived 1-2 blocks away. Not 1-2 blocks away. I want to say 3-4 blocks away. And they were like close to each other. But the first order took me to West Buckhead. Now, let me tell you where West Buckhead is. West Buckhead is Chattahoochee, and it's like right before Bolton Road. That part of Buckhead, that's West Buckhead, or West Midtown. West Buckhead, West Midtown, I think it is. All along the Chattahoochee River, put it that way. Really underdeveloped area. I went way over there, and I was like, what the hell? And then let me tell you, I had a Grubhub block to do. My Grubhub block was from 6 to 9. I get an order from Grubhub. I said, oh, they're not expecting me to pick up that order until 7-11. So I said, okay, I'm gonna have time to drop off these other orders, go back to do my Grubhub duty, pick up that order on my way back, because it didn't make sense for me to wait for that order from Grubhub at Pho, some Taiwan restaurant, that Thai restaurant. So I dropped off that first order. I said, why the hell I'm going way out? I'm like, I thought these places supposed to be closer to the Publix. So when I dropped off that order, I'm following the second GPS order to deliver. It took me right at Peachtree Battle at, put it this way, 0.2 of a mile from the Grubhub order in that shopping center was the next order delivery. And then the other one was next, almost within blocks from the other Publix. I said, what the hell is this? I said, I could have dropped off these 2 orders first because it was literally up the street. And then the other 2 orders, A and D, was out there in West Buckhead. So let me tell you what I did. Just imagine this. I'm going to West Buckhead or West Midtown, whatever the hell you want to call it. Went back to where Peachtree Battle was, where those 2 other orders were, within blocks apart, and then went back to West Buckhead. I said, what the hell is this? What kind of logistics is that? I had 2 orders that was in the same vicinity within less than a mile apart, up from the Publix, that I could have dropped off. Like, it was in residential neighborhoods, so I didn't have to go up to no apartment buildings or anything. And then the other 2 was in the same situation in the house. And the other 2 was within blocks of each other too. So I don't know. Anybody who tell me, if y'all have 4 orders Do you follow what it says A, B, C, and D? Or do you follow and just click on each of the orders and see what the address is, and whichever one is closest at where you are currently at, you drop that off first? You know, when I do Grubhub give you 2, 3 orders at the same time, even though the time of delivery may be different. So what I do is I look at it. I say, okay, no, because Grubhub has improved on how they do those deliveries. So now they got it all followed in a path. But at one time, it wasn't like that. So tell me, what do y'all do with that? Someone please tell me in the comments below when I finish this broadcast. If B and C was up the street and A and D is on the other side, even though A expects there to come first, B is second and C is third and fourth, and D, do you follow based on who's closest, or do you based on who's closest in time? Because all of that took all of that driving up this road, going down this street, and it seemed like I was burning more gas and time doing that than simply looking at, and anything was on some Apple map. It wasn't even on Google Map. It wasn't even on my Waze. So I figured out how to change the settings to Waze, because Waze gives you a more better time frame, estimate time of arrival. It'll tell you if there's traffic or anything going on. So tell me how y'all do that. Please tell me, because I could have been on time. I was on time for I think I was on time for 2 of them. Then the other 2, I might have been a little bit late, or it said it was deliver ASAP. But I got the order so close to the time the customer's inspecting it. That's another thing. How could they give me an order and they expect the order to be delivered 2 minutes later if they just gave me the order and I'm like 2 minutes away and got the order? Tell me that too. All right, so the night concluded at 9:44 at the Kroger's on Howard Mill. Now let me back up some. I still try to do my Grubhub. I had 1 delivery for Grubhub. Now, there was a 3-hour block. I had got 1 order that whole entire time. And then that 1 order, that fool was a jackass. I was a little, I got the order when I came back down on Peachtree Road, picked up the order at the Faux restaurant in that little shopping center. He was down the street. He was literally down the street for one of the other orders from Instacart. Literally, Peachtree Battle and then Peachtree Memorial. Boom, boom. It was like this. I said, man, well, let me tell you what the Grubhub person. I said, sir, are you on the left or the right? Because you know how it says you hear and all you see is a bunch of houses and buildings. Just turn on this, just turn on that entry. And I said, okay, just step outside. I'll be there, I'll get there in a second. Literally, this fool gonna sit up in here arguing with me. I said, sir, I'm on a speakerphone. Just tell me what he want to go ahead and go back and forth arguing over something. First of all, it's your job, and it's your job. Sir, just tell me where you at. People don't know how to turn on no dang lights. They act like they are so, So I said, you know what? I ain't got time to be arguing. I ain't gonna sit here and going back and forth with you. I ain't going back and forth with you. Telling me it's your job. It's my job as my own independent business to pick up that order. But I am not subjecting myself to no foolishness. You sit up here yelling and screaming at me, and I'm asking you which way to turn on this, So you know what I did? I drove off. I said, I got somebody else waiting for their groceries, and I'm sitting here with this food. So I went to the other place. Then when I looked at it, I said, wait a minute now. I just came back from this area. I said, why did Instacart not simply put this order and the other one that was so close together? Why are you putting me going back and forth, back and forth? You know, didn't make any sense. So I said, you know what? So I finally got there, and the guy, was pretty, he was pretty nice. So he wasn't, I went, pulled up some, let me tell you, white folks, boy, you know what? That's another video altogether. This gentrification thing is really something else. This gentrification thing is really something. And I can see why that order went so far out, because this part of Buckhead, now I don't want to say Buckhead, I want to say this is Midtown, West Midtown, all the way near the dang Chattahoochee River, near that stink water plant, not the water plant, yeah, where the Atlanta water plant is, all up in that area. That's just starting to be developed. It's past Howard Mill, but it's in this real Bolton Road. There ain't nothing around there. They need to hurry up and build a dang supermarket, because every time I go over that area, there's no restaurants, there's no nothing. But I could assure you, those white folks lived in those ragged ass areas. They're gonna be building up some townhomes soon enough, and that area is gonna skyrocket like that. So, but two of those orders sent me back and forth, which didn't make any sense. I was like, I could have went to finish those other two first, boom, boom, then went over there, boom, boom, and that would have been it. It going all the way around. I was like, I'm gonna figure that out, or somebody tell me. So the day ended at the Kroger's and Howard Mill. So after I finally went and delivered that other Grubhub order, let me tell you what that fool did. That didn't finish going back. So Grubhub customer service calls me. I told them what happened. I said, I am not going to be cursed at or bullied or whatever. I said, next time I'm not going to, I said, next time that's happened, I'm calling the police. I'm not making no incident report with Grubhub over this. I'm tired of going to places where customers feel like they could curse and carry on, and they almost close to calling you the N-word. But see, they ain't gonna call me that. Because see, I'm trying not to go to jail. I'm trying not to go to jail by throwing some damn bricks in people's faces. Because like I said, words don't hurt. But you know what? I don't pass it by these dumb crackers. I really don't. Because see, they think they could just talk to you all kind of way. You ain't talking to me all kind of way. So when I showed up, customer service called him. He said, yeah, he still wants his food. Okay, fine. So I went back to deliver his food after I finished all my deliveries on that shift. And see, this food think he's slick. He said like he wanted the food. So when I showed up, he was like, bitch, you keep the food. I said, fuck you. And I said, you know what? I could have threw that food in his face, but I said, no, Teresa, don't do it. Walk away. Because that jackass paid for all that food, 2 salads, 2 big old soups, whatever. You ate it. Shit. I took that thing home. I may throw that thing in the garbage because I had this sampled something that tasted pretty good, but it wasn't all that, but it was okay. I said, you jackass, I still got paid the tip that you left and the delivery fee. Foolish. They throw crackers, boy. They think they doing something. You keep it. Fool, I still get paid the tip. I still get paid the delivery fee. So I started my night with the Kroger, the whole Howard Mill. and I was up the street from there. And it was like 6 items I had to buy. Chicken, little chicken, and some popcorn and peanut butter and avocado, and what else I had to get? Something else. Yeah, 6 items. So I was like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? So I went on the app. I said, okay, avocado, got that. Looked at the deli section. They didn't have the turkey, they didn't have the chicken, that comes. They ain't had none. Deli was closed. They was all locked up. I was like, damn, what happened to the deli section? Then they say, okay, if they didn't have that, then the customer wants alternative. They didn't even have none of the alternatives. I was like, oh God, really? So I had to mark it as give them back their money for that. That's okay, fine, mark that off. So after I got all the items, they only had one regular customer service line open and all the other lines were express. I said, oh God, I'm looking at the timer and I said, oh my goodness, I've been past the suggested time. And then after I finished, I didn't know what to do then. I said, well, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to end it? Do you end it, do you finish shopping or what? So I went to the register, called shopper. Nobody called me. So I said, okay, well, maybe I'm supposed to just swipe this card. And then it went through. So I swiped the card. She asked me if I had a Kroger card. I said no. So she gave me a little discount with the Kroger card. Anyway, and it went through. And then it said start delivery. I said, okay, that's how you do it. So I went there, delivered his food. He was off of Collier Road, not far. Then I went to the apartments. It was right on Peachtree. It said visitors parking, valet parking. I went to the visitors. So he buzzed me in and said, oh, you want to go to the valet parking? That's what the concierge told me. I said, oh, goodness. I said, I can't back up because I've got people behind me. So they let me in the garage. I made to go turn around. And I finally showed up, gave him his bag. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry for the confusion. He said, oh, no, that's okay. I said, I just seen visitors, so I figured I'm visiting. And told him, I said, they didn't have the chicken. And I told him that they told me at the Kroger that they close at 7. So I said, if you wanted to, just for FYI, for the chickens, they close at a certain time. But everything went fine with that. So that was my experience. Oh, let me tell you what else happened. I'm driving near Georgia Tech. And let me tell you, these dumb people, these dumb white folks, boy, they're so stupid. One day, somebody's going to just hit them with a bunch of bricks. These poor Mexican guys, they working. Ain't nobody bothering them. They doing their job. They doing this, many of the sidewalks. I'm hearing somebody yelling and screaming like at the top of their lungs, yeah, no, the fuck you doing? I said, who the hell is that? And then some cracker old man, white man, hanging out his truck, screaming at these Mexicans, talking about they don't know what they doing, go back home. I was like, you know what? Boy, these white folks, they got a little bit bold lately since Trump became in office. They think they could talk a whole lot of shit. You think you could scream at Mexicans because your dumb, stupid ass can't do the job or do these construction jobs, and you want to yell at Mexicans. For what? They ain't do nothing to you. So I saw the whole thing. I said, boy, these dumb crackers, boy, they just they're a trip. They was talking in Spanish, and they just looked at, just laughed at him. Man, that fool, you yelling at your truck. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. And he said here driving a service truck from whatever company it was he worked for. I said, I wish I did see what service company he worked for. I would have took that number down and called him and said that he, you want to be poor representation of your company. Driving around harassing people. One of these days, some of these dang white people, they think they're so dang privileged and think they could just do anything to anybody. Somebody's going to one day just throw a bunch of bricks straight up in their face. They think now that Trump's in office, they think they could talk shit. They move into these black neighborhoods that used to be black. And then, walking around. Wait. Pookie and them come and break up in their damn house. Then y'all want to, then y'all want to expect police. Oh, police. That's why they got these dang gated communities and these security systems in these high-rise apartment buildings. Y'all move into the hood, and y'all want to be all gated, closed-in community, and thinking somebody's supposed to pick y'all up on Uber and Lyft and deliver your food and lunch. I'm not going to no hoops. I'm not going to no hoops to deliver your food and lunch. And then I rounded off my day doing Uber Eats. I went to Uber Eats, did one Uber Eats. I said, let me put this thing, make my way back home, and maybe I'll pick up a couple of Uber Eats orders. So, of course, it was someplace in Midtown. Of course, they had this little gated community. She was like, I want you to go upstairs to the 7th floor, blah, blah, blah. And at first I wanted her to come downstairs. I said, ma'am, I don't go upstairs. I said, you know what? I have a headache. I said, let me just walk upstairs, give her this damn bag, go back down, and go and make my way home. Then I'm leaving, dropping off her food. Here comes this white guy with his dog. Dog charging us, And do you think that fucking fool apologized? I said, you know what? Next time I'm going to carry me a stick, and let me see what you're going to do then. So I said, you need to know how to contain your dog. He ain't say nothing. I walked around the corner, getting on the elevator. What did she say? So the other girl was with him. She said she gonna, you ain't say shit when I had something to say. What did I say? You heard what I said. Next time I come and some dog come charging me, I'm gonna have some pepper spray or a damn stick. I don't know why you doing that. Rather than explaining why the dogs start barking and stuff, because see, some of y'all people think you're slick. Y'all know y'all be training these dogs to attack black folks. If I hear know why your dog doing that. Let me tell you the reason why I pepper sprayed the dog, since you don't know how to contain your dog. Stupid ass. It's got on my fucking nerves. So I said, you know what? Today I have a block with not Grubhub. I have a block. Well, my block is working now for 2 hours. Until I get a ping, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until I get a ping. I'll leave the house around 2 something. Let me see. Yeah, I'll leave around 2 something. But anyway, so I did 3 apps all day yesterday. Made a combined income of $120. 11 hours of work, that's $120. That's the most despicable amount of money ever. No, I didn't make no, so the end result was I made $72.82 in 9 hours and 40 minutes. I took a 20-minute lunch break. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did 11 deliveries, whatever, I guess. One was shop and deliver, and the other one was delivery only. So I did 10 deliveries, 1 regular shop and delivered, or whatever you want to call it. I only have 5 items, so that was $1.75, and then $5.85, which was I don't know what you call it, shop and deliver, whatever. And then he gave me a $6 tip, so that was a good thing. So I got $6 tip worth for 5 items of groceries, and then the $5.85. I guess that was delivery. Yep, that's what I did. All right, so That's how that came about. Now, when I look at these figures, it comes out to be about the same with Ship and Grubhub. Ship and Instacart. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the per item cost that you get and the commission that Instacart gives, at $1.75 for picking up 5 items, that's the same amount that comes up to 7.5%. So Instacart makes a little bit more in regards to they make a little bit more. They make more than Ship. Ship may have more. No, I don't know. I think Instacart is bigger than Ship, even though in Atlanta they have all these new markets and they're expanding and they have more stores. I think what's going to happen is you can't have these two companies is not going to be able to survive. Somebody's going to have to go along the wayside eventually. Now, Instacart is doing well based on my research, not just deliveries and all that stuff. I look at markets. I look at business reports. I read business reports, and I always look up all these different, apps because I'm looking into doing some investing. And also today is my first day that I'll be doing. It's a free course. Well, it's not free. It's called Girls Develop It. And I applied for a scholarship to take this free class because I don't have no job really. I mean, I do, but not really. And I'm going to be learning for the next 4 weeks or 5 weeks HTML and CSS and and learn how to code and develop my website. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be from 7 to 9 every Tuesday. So my hours needs to be free between those hours. And then it's good to network with other people. And I will be learning how to code. And eventually I'm going to learn how to do apps. And then I'm also going to start my own consulting business. Yeah, I wanted to do taxes, but I said, I'm kind of tired of doing taxes. I may add that as my repertoire, but I want to learn how to do IT and apps. Working for all these companies, Instacart and Grubhub and Uber Eats and all this. I want to get into the game. I think as a people, we need to stop being a slave to driving, picking up food, delivering food, and getting these little pennies for all these big companies that makes billions and billions of dollars. These people are no more smarter than me and you. They're not. We could be very innovative as a people. We came from a lineage, heritage. Black History Month is almost up. But yet I remember going to school, they had all these inventors that it was displaying who made the first traffic light was a black man. The ironing comb, which I need to get done to this, a black woman. We built this country. And to be honest with you, I don't know if it's true because, we always love to claim that we invented the internet too, but I don't know if that's any truth to that. But there may be some truth to that because I did heard that story years ago. The cold internet, innovative ideas came from a black man, was a scientist, because to be honest with you, Facebook was not something new that came about. Do you remember Black pages of, I think that's what it was. It was like a bunch of black colleges, and it was a website where people could enter and talk. It was just like damn Facebook. I'm gonna have to go back and remember that. I think it was black. I want to say it was Black College, but it was just like Facebook. You know. So I said to myself, Teresa, why don't you, the new opportunities in this coming up decades, or the job market. I've been applying for so many different positions. I turned down this interview this week for one of these companies that's supposed to work with Lyft to pick up medical personnel, people on them for non-emergency pickups. And I got that from someone who was talking about a video about it. And I went online and applied, and they called me to do an interview this week. But when they was talking about, it was all the way in College Park, it was only $10 an hour, and it was only for Saturday and Sunday for 12 hours a day. I said, well, shoot. At first, I was going to go to the interview, and I said, no, I need to know how to start saying no to things and stop going out of desperation. $10 an hour to go all the way to College Park and work a 12-hour day, Saturday and Sunday. I could do that by doing Grubhub and Instacart and even do Uber Eats and make that amount of money. So I told them today. They emailed me three times to set up an interview. Then they called me on the phone this morning, asking me if I was interested in setting an interview with them. I said, no, thank you. Pay too low, $10 an hour. And you're going to take calls for people who are, who may need a lift, and it's a customer service job all the way in College Park for $10 an hour? No, can't do it. Can't do it. I'd rather work these little apps and do that. Then I got an email from a place that I applied to, which is called Foodies. And I have a phone interview with the Atlanta management team tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. It's Thursday. And they were looking for people. It's just like doing Uber Eats and Grubhub, but it's for large catering orders for like $100-something. You pick up food for $100-something bucks, and you're supposed to get paid $15 plus tips. But I'll find out a little bit more about that on Thursday. So anybody's interested in trying to apply, go to Foodies, FOODIE.com. I think they're looking for drivers, and you set your schedule in advance. So it's like, in advance where you're going, who you're picking up for, and where you're delivering from, and you get paid $15 plus tips. But I'll find out a little bit more about that on Thursday. So that's my little story. And I think I did pretty good. 72 to 82. 10 deliveries and 1 regular full service. And that was in the $5 or whatever that was. I said, well, dog. I said, I wonder how much I'm going to get when I start working those other markets. I'm going to concentrate on doing Lawrenceville. I said, you know what? Why should I be driving all over the place going to Atlanta? I said, I think I'm going to go to Lawrenceville. Lawrenceville and Marietta. I signed up for all of them. But Atlanta, they only paid $5. I think it was $5. So, but I'm going over my little things. Customer feedback, order without issues, 100%, based on your last 30 batches. I did 30 batches. Hey, wait a minute. Your metrics will be updated when you complete 30 batches. You have completed 4 batches, which included 11 orders. Oh, okay. So 11 orders is not batches. I was wondering, I said, where's a batch? Okay, I get it. So I did 4 batches. All right, that's good to know. I thought 11 deliveries was a batch. Hmm. Okay, I get it. So if I did one order that had one batch, and I did 10 of those, then that would have been 10 batches. But if I did 5 in one, that's one batch. Okay, I get it. I understand. All right. Yeah, this is better than ship, in my opinion. I think they need to, rather than trying to evaluate people based on, oh, you need a rating of a 4.89 out of 5, but yet they give you orders that's late and they try to coax you with $5, $10 to take it, and then the customer is already mad and you're supposed to calm them down and give you a 5. They're not giving you 5, they giving ship the rating. That's where I fell off. That's where I messed up at. That and taking orders all over the place. But see, at least with this company, they're not going to allow you to schedule yourself in multiple zones. So I could deal with that. Work one zone, one area, and do one at a time. I just need to work on my speed. I think, yeah, just work on my speed. Because I could find the items in the store, but okay, that's what I'll do. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, now I start to see some things here. So that's where I messed up at. I would sit up in here looking at the dang I didn't know what to press and what to do next. It messed me up. I was looking at some dang cherries, not cherries, some dang tomatoes, and they wanted those little red tomatoes, and I only saw the yellow ones, and I was so contemplating with that for like messing around with that for 5 minutes. I was like, dang, I'm messing up my dang time. Messing around looking at some yellow tomatoes versus working at the red ones when I could have just, okay, I guess I'll improve. I know exactly what I need to do. Okay, this is what they tell you. Now they give you the tips after the fact. You grab the produce bag and open them up before your shift. Plan your route throughout the store before starting. Drop off counter items at the beginning so they'll be ready by the time you pick up the rest of the orders. Make replacements or refund decisions quickly and accurately. Okay, so I can't be sitting around there debating about picking up some green versus, red potatoes versus yellow tomatoes. Can't believe I messed that up like that. But okay, I got it. I got it. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't know. How y'all think today's gonna be? I got 3 to 6, and I must be finished at 6, so I can't go a minute early. I need to make my way to Piedmont, to the girls' development, and do my lessons, and learning how to do HTML and CSS and develop our first website. So I will be developing my first website. So at the end of the month, I'll have me a little website, and maybe I could help some of y'all do a website too. I'm not gonna do something elaborate, so don't expect some big elaborate project right now. But I think having a website would be a good ways to expand your brand and expand your marketing, and possibly for those who wish to write a blog. I do have a blog out there, but I'm going to start doing that too. So I'm going to put all of this together and put up I'm going to make an affiliate website and share some of the experiences with y'all. And also, I think the next time I make my next video, I'm going to do the video on the tax returns we need to do. Yep, I'm going to do that. But another thing before I go is if anybody wants to take any free courses, because sometimes it's good to expand your mind. Sometimes I find myself all this driving and doing all these deliveries. You start to lose your sense of improving yourself in a sense of, bettering yourself. So it's a course, it's called Allison, Alison. And that website, which I'm going to start finishing up, is how do you build your first web page. But this one is actually, what I'm doing this tonight is learning how to code. They also had a course on there. It's free on how to use YouTube, and I need to work on that. They show you how to do a YouTube channel and all those other things, and that's on there. So I signed up to do that. That's a free class. It'll tell you how to edit and do all these things. But I'm gonna go with that next lesson once I finish up that website page course, and that's pretty good too. All right, I've been sitting here for, it's 1:55 now. I didn't get anything from Grubhub. Let me see. Like I said, ain't no point in running out the house to do nothing. Half of these, and that's another thing. If you do Grubhub, you don't have to drive around in your car waiting for an order. You can sit right at your house. If you so happen to live in the zone, just sit at your house and wait. Because I find that when I have these 3-hour, 2-hour blocks on a weekday, and I'm still getting a guarantee of $30, ain't no point in me trying to run around lunchtime in the heart of Buckhead. I usually get pretty good though. When I 3-hour blocks during lunch, I usually get 3 orders real quick. But see, I know where to go. But now lately, I say, you know what? I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna wait. And then let the orders come to me. And then, then if I'm gonna go to my usual spot, I'll go right on Tucker, sit at the Quick Trip, and wait. And wait for the order to come through Lucky Number 7 or some other place. All right, y'all. I see I got 3 viewers. I don't know who 3 of y'all are because let me see. I know there's a chat thing on here. Let me see. Yay, chat. You know what? We need to learn how to do this. I need to learn how to use this more. Let me see if I put a good afternoon. Yay. Oh, by the way, my mother found Chi-Chi, the dog. You see the dog in the little picture? Chi-Chi's was found. Somebody had found her around the school, around the corner from the house. And they kept her over the weekend, so that's good to know. All right, y'all. It's been good talking with y'all, and I will see y'all on the road. Be safe. And don't let these crazy people talk crazy to you. And watch out for these crazy drivers. That's another thing. I've been seeing some real crazy accidents. And some of y'all newbies, and I could tell y'all new to be driving Uber because y'all got your dang stickers all over the car. Front and back seat. I drive Uber. I drive Lyft. Y'all got, don't advertise yourself like that. And you be having a phone like this driving. Ain't no point rushing. There's no need to rush. Just take your time. And please buy a mount. It only costs $5 at Five Below. They got one in Snellville. It's better than that $20 mount that I bought. You go to Five Below. They got a lot of nice little products you could buy. They got these little chargers you could get, the car mounts. So get a $5 car mount. Don't be driving, just dumb. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.